guys doing? Okay, so I kind of want to continue the lesson about finding chords, and last time we talked about how to turn an open chord into a bar chord and slide it up. Okay, so the other way is actually just using the notes in a chord. So first of all, okay, so we know what a note is. This is your C note, high C, high D, high E, high F, high G, okay? So if we know what notes are, we have to think, what are chords? And chords is basically a combination of notes. And when you play the combination of notes together, that makes up a chord. So first of all, for example, let's look at the C chord, okay? The C chord is made up of the notes C, E, and G. Okay, so if you know the names of your notes on each string, and that's going to be the tricky part, right? It's not just knowing C, D, E, F, G, A, B, high C, high D, high E, high F, high G, and so on. It's about knowing C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, or the E string, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E. Okay, so it's about knowing all the notes, okay, on your ukulele. So I'm going to make up a chord right now, a C chord, C, E, and G. So let's take, for example, this C here. So this is a C, and I have a C here, but maybe let's take this E. So now I'm playing C, E, and maybe I can play E over here again, and G over here. So right now I'm playing C, and G. So that's your C chord. So if I played it, okay, I've never used this chord before, but technically this is a C chord. Okay, so you can kind of create your own chords, make your own chords, and find your own voicing. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Let's do it. Okay, so we got the C chord. Let's try looking at, so let's try to find a different C chord. Same notes, C, E, and G, okay? And we have actually 4 strings on the ukuleles, right? So as long as we have the C, E, G, the 4th note can be either a C, a E, or a G, okay? So we'll probably be holding C, E, G, and another C or another E or another G because we have 4 strings. Okay, so just take your time. Just try to go one string at a time and tell yourself, okay, let's go from the top to bottom. We have a G here, which is in the note. So maybe we can leave this open, okay? We have a C here, but let's do something. Let's use the E here. So we got C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E. So right now we got G and E. So let's scratch that. Okay, so right now we have our G and our E. Let's add, we're missing a C. Okay, and I just know that space number 8 on the E string is a C. Okay, so we have G, E, and our C. And for our last note, it can be either one, okay? But it can't be A, right? If you let it go, this is an A. So this is not a C chord because we have an A note in there. So let's change the A to, let's see, we could either go C over here on space number 3, we could go E on space number 7, or we could go G on space number 10. So let's do that. Let's do space number 10. This is a nice chord here. And this is your C chord. different voicings is you can get different sounds. I think that's one of the things that made Jake stand out when he was, starting to perform, and a long time ago, many, many years ago. But he didn't always just use the basic C's and the basic G's and the F's and the G's, because if everybody uses the same chords, right, then every song will kind of sound the same. But all of a sudden you throw in these different voicings and it kind of makes the song a little more interesting, okay? So for example, what song was it? Jake recorded a song or composed a song called Piano Forte. And it goes, I don't really know how it went, but I know it was this F. So this is his F chord right here. Okay, so this is kind of similar to how we use this as a C chord. But he used it like this. This is your F chord. You go down, your C chord, okay? So, the F chord, okay, you don't have to know everything that I'm telling you right now, but I just kind of want you to understand it. Okay, so even if you can't do it in your head quickly and understand this, I'm not lying to you. Okay, so let's go to that F chord Jake uses. Okay, so he's not playing the top string, which is a G. Okay, if he did play it, it would be like a F add 9 chord. But we're just going to focus on the bottom three. He has a F right here. This next one is your C, and the last string, that's your A, F, A, C. So this is kind of a hard chord to hold. But if you don't hit the top string, it's an F chord. If you hit the top string, technically it's an F add 9 chord because you're playing an F chord and you're adding the G note. Okay. So because of this voicing, and then he goes down here. Wow, there's a big stretch. Okay, so now we're looking at F, A, C, A minor note, A, C, E. Okay, and this is the notes that make up the A minor chord. So what he's doing is, if you notice how A and C is in the F chord, and A and C is also in the A minor chord. So he's keeping the A and C, and he's just moving the F to the E. So if you watch my fingers here, I'm playing F, C, A. Oh. Now by just moving this down here to space, now I'm playing E, C, A. So I just went from an F chord to an A minor chord by moving this one note from F to E. Okay, so let's try it. So it goes F, that's your A minor, and then he's gonna move down here, D, A, F. Okay, and it just so happens, like because I've studied this before, I kind of know, the notes that make up the chord. So in my head, I already know that when he plays, what's he playing? D, A, F. I know that makes up the D minor chord. So D, F, A. Okay, and that's what he's doing here when he plays D, A, F. Okay, so when we go back here, F, C, A, F chord. Now I'm going to move the F to make it E, which makes the chord even a longer, bigger stretch. Oh. Okay, so that's your A minor. Move it down, D, A, and F. Okay, and now you have a D minor chord. Okay, so you could play it out like a F chord, A minor chord, D minor chord. Okay, so you see how I'm actually playing, and instead of just playing the regular F, A minor, D minor, which is fine, all we did was we created a new voicing, like a new chord, okay? And because this is almost like a chord that is very, we rarely use, when you hear it, it just kind of stands out, like, wow, it's really nice. And it's hard to copy that, So this is where understanding how to create your own chords, you can be really creative and you can find different voicings, which will give you a different kind of sound. Okay, so that's kind of the cool thing about understanding how to find your own chords or create your own chords. And it's just by knowing the notes. Okay, so let's say I wanted you to hold like, let's do a chord progression like this. G, D, C. Okay, so G, B, and D. Okay, the D chord is D, F sharp, A, and we did the C chord, right? C, E, and G. Okay, so let's try to figure out a different G instead of going G chord, D chord, and C chord. Okay, let's try to be a little more creative. So first of all, let's try to find a different G chord. Okay, so just kind of work it out on your own. Okay, maybe I'll take this D, and I'll take this B. I have a G on the top. So maybe I could go D, B, and where am I here? G again? G, G, B, D. You could do something like this. Now, all I want to do is from here, I would probably say, what's the difference between a G chord and a D chord? So first of all, let's keep this the same, okay? Because the D is in a G chord and it's in a D chord. But if we look at the B chord, all we have to do is move the B down to an A and move the G down to an F sharp. So let's figure out, okay, so we got our chords here. Okay, we're just gonna play the bottom three, G, B, D. So now, our D is on the bottom, so let's keep that, okay? On the E string, this is our B. So let's just move that to an A, and that would look like this. Okay, so now we got our A. We went from B, we moved it down to A. Okay, so we were like this. And then finally, we're gonna take the G and move it down to F sharp. So from here, this is your G, move it down to F sharp. Now you have a D. So G, D. Okay. So you see how the chords feel more connected? Instead of going from a C to a random G to another D, you actually have, now let's go down to C. Basically, if we're only playing the bottom strings, the bottom three, all we have to do is, if this is D, slide it down to, now this is C. Okay, so G, D, C. Created our own voicings, and sometimes a certain voicing might actually give the whole song like a new feel, and that could be like the best part of the song. I forget what the name of the song was, but I remember a long time ago Jake wrote a song. I can't even remember the melody, but I remember the chord voicing he used was really interesting. That's kind of what kind of like how that song, Hey Soul Sister. It's just those first chords on the ukulele, and you kind of drag, it brings you in, So, what was it? So the chords he was playing was a G, D, E minor, C. Okay. What he did was he kept a D melody, a D note as a common note in there, and it sounded like this. It would D, it's actually, like a D sus, E minor to a C. Okay, so instead of, okay, he did it. color. You know, so let's do it. When you fool around and you find new chord voicings and new ways to hold chords, you know, you can get really creative, and I think in a lot of cases, the voicing is what makes the songs interesting. Okay, so I don't think, if you're just starting off, I don't think you need to really dissect this and get started on this right away. Just kind of understand how chords work, and then maybe later down the line when you get into arranging or composing music, which I hope to cover eventually, we'll bring this back. But hopefully for now you just kind of feel like, you know, oh, there is some kind of pattern or some kind of logical explanation to how chords work. And there is, so that's all I wanted to cover, and I hope you guys can, some of you can make use of it, but if not, don't worry about it, because I'll bring it back later when we're gonna actually use this system, okay? So anyways, you guys have a good day. I'm probably not gonna make a video tomorrow. I'm gonna go golfing. Oh, and you know, it's funny because I go golfing a lot, and I always think like, oh, you know, maybe I'll take some video and share it with you guys. But the problem is that, you know, when we go golfing, and let's say I hit a ball and we're recording it, you can't see the ball, right? So the camera, you know, I don't have the blimp like the PGA guys, but so we hit the ball, and you know, we can see it because we're golfing, so we're watching, but you can't see the ball. So it really, it's just kind of like, it doesn't quite make an interesting video. You know, maybe if you like to golf, then, you know, I don't know. But I did some research, and I figured out a way to make our golfing trips a little more fun and exciting. So I'll show you guys a sample today, and then tomorrow when I golf, hopefully I can put together a complete video. But anyways, so enjoy my little short golf demo video and practice chords, and I'll see you guys soon. All right? Have a great day. All right, here's our leader, Bruce Shimabukuro at -8. Wow, what a shot. Oh my God, this might reach the green on a par 5. Are you kidding me? All right, here's a putt for a double eagle and a 10-stroke lead. Looks good. No way. Oh my God. This guy is unbelievable.